rest of the president's first term. It gives $70 billion to fund immigration enforcement through 2029. The bill cleared Congress by the narrowest of margins without a single Democrat crossing the aisle.
All right, and it ends what has been a months-long saga surrounding funding within DHS. Joining us now for An America Reports exclusive, DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin is here. Mr. Secretary, welcome to you, and thanks for coming on America Reports. So please give us an update on this funding and what it allows you and your department to do.
Well, first of all, we're able to pay everybody. This is super exciting for all of us. We have employees at ICE and CBP that have been, well, let's say in South and Central America that haven't been paid since February. This is amazing that they were still showing up and working every single day. I had other cabinet members that was helping us out in areas that they could. Maybe they would do special assignments for them while they were overseas with the State Department or with different agencies, was helping put some money in their pocket. But the fact that these guys and gals still showed up every single day and worked will tell you that they are truly committed to keeping our homeland and our shores safe every single day. Now that, because thanks to President Trump and his forward thinking, saying, why don't we just go ahead and take it off the table for my entire presidency, fund them fully for 3 years, which means that now we won't have the Democrats threatening to shut down Immigration Custom Enforcement, which is ICE, or shutting down our Custom and Border Protection, which is, protects our borders. They can't do that anymore. They can't use that as a leverage against the American people and against President Trump. So this is a major victory for President Trump and DHS.
So, Mr. Secretary, as you proceed now fully funded into the future, one of the things that's being talked about is because of the intransigence of New York State and New York City officials cooperating with ICE, that ICE may surge agents into the New York area to apprehend people who are in this country illegally. Now, New York City Mayor Mamdani is coming out against it. Listen to what he said the other day.
We have heard time and again threats of increases in immigration enforcement across our city. I want to be very clear about the fact that I believe that ICE raids are cruel, they are inhumane, they do nothing to serve in the interests of public safety. We
were talking to Tom Homan, the border czar, earlier this week. He said, look, the very fact that New York is not cooperating with ICE is endangering the public. What do you say to the mayor?
Is absolutely correct. First of all, Mamdani is a socialist communist that I have zero respect for. He's running a great city by allowing lawless activity to continue to run rampant on his streets. President Trump ran on the fact that he's going to restore law back in America's cities, even in these sanctuary cities. And I've said this multiple times. I don't care if it's a red state or a blue state. We're going to protect the homeland. And what happens in these sanctuary cities, like what Mamdani is running, is that the criminals go to the safe haven in New York City, but they disperse throughout other parts of the city or the state and other parts of the country and continue this criminal activity. So we're going to go where the heart of the crime is. Listen, 98% of the American people, President Trump states this fact all the time, 98% of the American people are law-abiding citizens. It's the 2% that runs rampant and destroys our cities and our towns and our communities. And what we're doing is we're going after the worst of the worst, no matter where they're at, and that's including in New York. And Mamdani can't do a thing about it because we're going to enforce laws, not pick and choose which laws we're going to enforce like he chooses.
Mr. Secretary, I want to ask you about the DHS threatening to cut this CBP service at some of these sanctuary city airports. We've got this, the map for our viewers. We're talking about Seattle, San Francisco, international airports like Los Angeles, Chicago, and Denver. But the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, seems to take issue with that, considering it might lead to airport airline cancelizations. Listen.
We have people from around the world and around the country that need to be able to fly into all different kinds of places. We shouldn't shut down air travel in a state that doesn't agree with our politics.
So what's the plan here? Will CBP services be cut at these airports?
Well, first of all, let me be very clear. Sean Duffy and I are very good friends, and we've talked on this multiple times. I think this has been maybe misreported a little bit. What we're saying to these sanctuary cities is, listen, when our law enforcement is on the streets and we're detaining individuals, and when we call for assistance because you have individuals blocking your streets and your roads, and you refuse to respond because you say you don't have the resources, then it doesn't leave us any other option but to get the resources, because we're going to keep our men and women that are enforcing the law safe. And if we have to pull them from the airport, we will. We're not pulling them out just because they're sanctuary cities. We're going to pull them out because the state and the local government is refusing to do their jobs. Let's use Delaney Hall for an example. In New Jersey, we had protesters, rioters. These aren't protesters. Let's be very clear about this. These are paid rioters that are closing down our roads. As our employees are leaving Delaney Hall, they're crushing their windshields. They're beating on their cars. They're assaulting individuals. They're biting them. They're threatening their lives. And when we call for state or we call for local to, hey, back these protesters off, get them away from our buildings, open your streets back up because they're putting false barricades down, and then you say that you can't respond because you don't have the resources, then as Secretary of DHS, I have 80,000 law enforcement agents underneath my department. We're going to get the resources, and the fastest place to pull them from is from, well, Customs and Border Protection, because they know how to deal with crowds.
All right. Well, thank you for the clarification on that, Mr. Secretary. It brings us to another point, though. A lot of people will be flying through America's airports from outside of this country for the World Cup, which begins with a match in Los Angeles between the United States and Paraguay. How big a task is it to secure 78 games in the United States, which a lot of people say amounts to 78 Super Bowls over the next few weeks?
It is a huge task, but DHS is up to this. Unfortunately, the radical Democrats put this at jeopardy because they had to shut down as a whole for 76 days, but well over 100 days for CBP and ICE. So listen, we have 78 Super Bowls in 38 days in 11 cities. Most of these cities are having a game almost every other day. I will be in LA for the kickoff for the first game in the United States. It actually starts tomorrow in Mexico City. And we're super excited. We're going to have 5 to 7 million visitors. We're going to show the best of America. We expect to have safe games, but we also know there's bad actors out there every single day threatening us. So we have Customs and Border Protection over 5 stadiums. FBI is over 3 stadiums. FBS is over 1. We have the Coast Guard that is taking 2 different arenas. So we have all of it covered, but it's going to be a lot. For starting tomorrow all the way until July 19th is the first night I think I'll have a good night's sleep.
Gosh, that's a lot. Best to you. Mr. Secretary, thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to all that.
And America 250 in the middle of it all as well. Thanks, Mr. Secretary. Appreciate it.
That's
Hope to
right.
see you soon.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you.